From the book Urban Science Education for the Hip-Hop Generation by Christopher Emdin, I decided to pick the theme Urban Science Education. To begin, we're going to take a look at these 4 photographs. These are rappers Tupac, Notorious, B.I.G., Jay-Z, and N.W.A. The one thing that they have in common is their ability to speak for the minorities that do not have a voice. They rap about issues in their daily lives that others can relate to. This is important for the urban youth because hip-hop and rap is what gives them a voice. It helps them talk about their pain, trauma, and frustrations. This is their way of life. Hip-hop and rap is their culture. This is what gives them their identity. Urban youth are encouraged to be unique, but once they step into the classroom, their voices are suppressed. Their voice that they can easily rap, draw, or dance about is suddenly taken away from them, and they are forced to sit in classrooms, making no sound or having interaction with their peers. That is the problem with urban school education. Teachers are not meeting the needs of students and are slowly turning them away from learning. When the words urban school are spoken, this image is what comes to mind. A classroom filled with noisy students that have no motivation to succeed. These negative stereotypes are stuck to a child, and the more teachers say this, the more students themselves believe it. A teacher walks into a classroom assuming students do not have the capability to pay attention or understand the material being taught. From the beginning, teachers are setting up their students for failure. Relating to Jean-Pierre's entry in the Journal of Elementary Science Education, teachers are already judging their students' capabilities, and their perceptions of the students are mostly negative. And students know they are already being stereotyped and judged, so they wonder why they should counter these odds. Why work hard if the teacher doesn't value me? That is where teachers are at fault. They don't take the time to get to know their students, and to get to know their struggles, and to get to know their culture. What is going on in their students' lives? How can I relate science concepts to life outside the classroom? What are my students' interests? Those are all questions a teacher should be asking themselves, especially in an urban science school. The main issue in urban school science education is teachers are not willing to change their teaching strategies. They simply stand in front of the classroom and act like dictators. Teachers are in charge and want students just to sit quietly and listen. However, students aren't listening because they aren't engaged in the lesson. Their teaching ways need to change in a way that students will listen to a teacher, unlike how they normally do. Teachers should be able to cater to the students' needs. If we want our students to be successful, then why are we not doing the best that we can? Outside of school, students work together to create a dance or a rap and think on the spot about lyrics or dance moves. But when it comes to the classroom, they are doing individual tasks and not given the chance to think critically. Students are used to working in a group environment, but when it comes to the classroom, they work by themselves. Quoting from the book, school is perceived as too simple and too prescribed. Students feel as though they are not being challenged, which is true, because teachers do not see their potential. Students are instructed to cram facts and complete assignments that are not personal. So students don't want to complete these assignments because they think they have no relevance to their personal lives. Students are just going through the motions of school, and there is no passion for the subject itself. The article titled Science Education in an Urban Elementary School focuses on teacher preparedness in an urban elementary school. The findings reported that many teachers were not scientifically literate and did not have the necessary instructional methods to teach students. If teachers are not fluent in these concepts, then how can they be expected to teach minority students, to explore science concepts and teach inquiry-based learning? Along with that, students are also being held back because they are not being provided with the necessary materials to conduct labs or experiments. In the urban schools, teachers have no trust in their students to use glass material or sharp objects because of the fear of students breaking materials or stabbing each other with items like a scalpel. With the inability to do hands-on projects, students are even more at a loss because there is absolutely no interactivity with labs or with each other. Without this, students become uninterested, and it is the school that is at fault. The strict limits that the school has for the teachers and students can get in the way of learning because urban school students are not given the same opportunities as other students only a couple cities away. Teachers need to be able to understand the world of their students, and that can happen by listening to their music. Urban school students live for rap because it is their only form of expression. Teachers need to put themselves in the position of understanding students' experiences and bringing them to life in the classroom. Science should be made relatable to students in order for them to find meaning in the content. Too many students question themselves by asking, "Why should I try if teachers don't want me to succeed?" Students aren't being validated enough, and that is what they need. Teachers need to show that they do care and be willing to try new teaching methods for the benefits of their students. Teachers need to go out of their way to understand the culture of their students and to understand their needs and their wants. Urban school science education needs a makeover by catering to these student needs and finding ways to make science relevant to students and improve their science literacy. This is all that students need: to be validated, valued, and a teacher that cares about them. This is the way we can find success in science in urban schools.